live and on your side. This is WSAV News 3 today at 6.
Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, July 13th. I'm Kim Gusby.
And I'm Ben Katko. Thanks for joining us here on News 3 today. Our top story this morning, the sudden death of longtime South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham has seen an outpouring of memories being shared from lawmakers and other leaders.
News Nation Washington correspondent Maddie Beer-Temple reports on reaction from D.C.
Senator Lindsey Graham's office announced his death on X early Sunday, writing that his family appreciates prayers at this time and asks for privacy. Tributes are pouring in for South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham. He died Saturday night after a brief and sudden illness, according to his office, which later shared the D.C. medical examiner's preliminary findings are that he died of aortic dissection, a cardiac event. Graham was 71.
He was like a member of the family to me. It's very tough, actually.
President Trump on NBC's Meet the Press Sunday says he and Graham spoke just last night after Graham returned from Ukraine. He says Graham told him he felt good but was tired.
He was a worker. He was really a worker.
Graham was a close ally of President Trump, even though they started as competitors in the 2016 presidential race. He served 3 decades in Congress and was known as a foreign policy hawk. Fellow South Carolina Senator Tim Scott called him a great friend and statesman on ABC's This Week.
It is a rare thing in politics, a rare thing in life to find people who are actually your friend.
Democrats also shared memories with Graham, saying he could work across the aisle. Delaware Senator Chris Coons recalled some of their trips together.
He was one of the funniest men I've ever known. In a tense diplomatic situation with a challenging meeting, he could break the ice. He could make everybody crack up.
South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace says Graham loved America.
He was a giant, whether you liked him or not. When he walked into that room, he was ready to fight.
President Trump ordered flags at half-staff for Graham until next Saturday. He posted on Truth Social that details on funeral arrangements would follow. South Carolina's Republican governor will appoint someone to serve out the rest of Graham's term through January. And since Graham was running for re-election, the state will hold a special GOP primary in the coming weeks to pick a new nominee. Maddie Beer-Temple, News Nation, Washington.
And Graham's death comes less than 4 months before he was set to appear on that ballot for a 5th term. Now South Carolina law says a special election could be up next. A special GOP primary could happen as early as August 11th. Republican candidates can file for the seat as soon as July 21st through the 28th. South Carolina law says if no candidate picks up a majority, they would head to a runoff August 25th. The winner will face Democratic nominee Annie Andrews on the ballot in November.
3 minutes after 6 o'clock, it is Monday morning. We are taking a live look right now as the sun comes up. May I just say, it feels so much better outside right now. Storm Team 3 meteorologist Alyssa Carsey's in the Weather Center with our weather on the 3s. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Kim. Well, our morning time hours looking at temperatures around 5 degrees cooler compared to what we've been tracking over the last week. We'll take it. The big change, though, is going to arrive later on this afternoon into this evening. And it's all thanks to the stalled front. It moved in late last night, brought us strong and severe storms, also tracking very heavy rain. That was also, once again, almost a repeat later on today. This morning, at least starting off lower 70s at 72 degrees in Glenville and 73 degrees for that temperature in Savannah. We'll stay dry through about lunchtime. Then, of course, just like clockwork, afternoon, we're watching for those rain showers and rain totals to continue to increase. We saw a lot of rain yesterday, saw around 2 inches overall. We could see an additional 2 to 3 inches later on today, and that will give us the opportunity for localized flooding at times as we head into the second half of the day. Though overall, we are looking forward to this Monday because of the cooler weather, at least cooler back to average for this time of year, which is nice comparing it to almost a week and a half straight of temperatures staying well above average. And we had 3 back-to-back days of hitting 100 degrees for that high temperature in Savannah Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Today, 91 degrees. Tomorrow, though, we're looking at the high temperature right around 89 degrees. So good changes on the way, at least for the first part of the work week, though as the chance of rain drops off as we head towards this weekend, we definitely start to see that chance of rain drop off and our high temperatures start to climb up just a little bit more. So coming up in just around 10 minutes, we'll talk about those rain showers for today, time them out, and of course talk about the cooler weather that moves in at least through Wednesday.
Thank you, Alyssa. Developing now.
The South Carolina Republican Party is again asking a federal court to change how primary elections work. Right now, voters in the state can choose which party they vote in, but the state's Republican Party wants to change that. They have filed a federal lawsuit arguing open primaries violate constitutional rights. But the South Carolina Democratic Party and many elected Republicans, including Governor McMaster, disagree.
And we had a very active Republican primary for governor this year and a very active Democratic primary for governor. We didn't have Democrats voting in their primary to pick the worst Republican. You know, that's not how that works.
It's like allowing Carolina or Clemson fans to decide what players the other team puts on the field. It doesn't make any sense in football, and it doesn't make any sense in politics either.
Political experts say if the system changes, voters must declare party affiliation before heading to the polls. Those who do not will not be able to vote in those primaries.
Meanwhile, in Georgia, with 4 months to go until November's election, officials say they're stepping up efforts to protect the integrity of the voting process. A new ballot image audit confirmed the results of last month's primary runoffs. Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger says more than 1 million ballots were reviewed with just 23 discrepancies. State leaders say every issue involved a hand-marked ballot, while ballot marking device ballots were 100% accurate. The Secretary of State also opened an investigation into Ready to Register and other third-party groups after voter registration mailers were sent to deceased individuals, including a dog. State leaders say they've received about 400 of those mailers, forcing them to use additional resources to clarify the confusion.
Now we're doing list maintenance, so we are already focused on regular list maintenance because the window's open because we don't have an active election going on. So when I see this, it's really disgusting that this group would send this out and just really tie up resources. And then they make it look like it's coming from our office. So we'll be writing a letter to all these voters, let them know this didn't come from us, this came from some outside organization.
State election leaders say they will continue investigating potential election fraud and remind Georgians to verify their registration through the state's official My Voter page.
Back in the Palmetto State, owners of utility terrain vehicles will be able to take them out on public roads thanks to a new law. Utility terrain vehicles are not the same as all-terrain vehicles, which are still illegal on public roads in South Carolina. You need to be 17 with a valid South Carolina driver's license. Anyone under 21 driving a UTV on a public road needs to wear a helmet with a face shield. If you plan to drive it on a public road, it has to have a license plate, and you need to carry registration and insurance documents.
It can be operated on public roadways with any speed limit less than 55 miles an hour. Your interstate systems are going to be exclusively prohibited, so you can't operate on an interstate. It can be operated within 10-mile radius of your residence, whatever's listed on your driver's license.
Children under 8 years old cannot be a passenger on public roads. All UTV drivers and passengers need to wear a seatbelt. That new law starts November 18th.
Breaking overnight, the Port Wentworth Police Department is asking for your help finding a missing 11-year-old girl. Take a look at this picture. According to authorities, Damian Williams was reported missing Sunday after he was seen walking toward the Miller Pond area in Salt Marsh Lane. Officials say he's 5 feet 6 inches tall and was last seen wearing a white shirt and gray pants. Now, if you have any information, you should contact the Port Wentworth Police Department at 912-964-4360.
And Savannah fire crews were called out early Sunday morning for a fire at a home on Newell Street. It happened around 12:35 yesterday morning. Officials say it took about 20 minutes to put the fire out. It's not clear if anyone was inside the home during that fire or if anyone was displaced, but we'll update you on air and online as soon as we learn more.
Continuing coverage, we are